All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're going deep on someone who's really shaping the future of AI.
Not in the way you hear about in the news with all the,
Yeah, the big tech hype.
exactly.
Yeah,
We're talking about Dr. Haithem Afli.
and we're going deep on his CV.
It's a roadmap for how to do AI the right way.
So if you're interested in ethical AI that makes a real difference, you're going to want to know about this guy.
Definitely, he's not just talking about it, he's living it.
Yeah, he's deeply embedded in the AI world,
And he's right at the forefront of it, too.
like actually shaping the field.
Yeah.
Right now, he's chair of the Computer Science Postgraduate Research Board at Munster Technological University.
MTU in Cork, Ireland.
That's the one. But that's not even the half of it.
Right. He's also lecturing there. He's a principal investigator, leads a whole research team.
I mean, this guy, where does he find the time?
The energy, too, right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, he's been at it for over 14 years, so you can imagine that's a lot of expertise.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes all over the place. He's into practical machine learning, natural language processing, applying AI to fields you wouldn't expect. But this one theme, it keeps popping up.
Responsible AI. Yeah.
And if you ever get to meet Dr. Afli, that's something I guarantee you'll want to pick his brain about.
It's not just a word for him. It's like everything he does. It's just,
Part of the DNA.
that's a good way to put it, because he's working with something so powerful, AI, and he really gets the responsibility that comes with that.
Absolutely. Now let's go back to the beginning. Where'd this all start? Well, his academic journey begins with a bachelor's in informatics from the Université de Monastir in Tunisia.
Solid foundation. Anyone serious about AI, that's where you start, right?
Oh yeah, he graduated with honors too.
Clearly a bright mind from the get-go.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Even back then, his final project, it was on Arabic speech recognition.
Like he had this early intuition, right?
It's like a little foreshadowing of where his passion would lead him.
Yeah, that early fascination with language and how machines can interact with it.
Next stop, the Université Grenoble-Alpes in France. A master's in computational linguistics thesis was on Arabic speech translation.
See, that's a big jump. Going from recognizing speech to actually translating it, that's a whole other level of complexity.
Exactly. It's not just about understanding words anymore. It's meaning.
Conveying that across languages.
Then he goes even further. Le Mans Université, also in France, for a PhD in computer science and natural language processing.
All right, we're getting serious now.
The title of his PhD thesis, get ready for this, Statistical Machine Translation in a Multimodal Context.
Whoa, okay, so now we're not just translating words, we're trying to get AI to understand the world the way humans do.
Because context is everything.
Right. Images add layers of meaning that just text it just can't capture.
So he's essentially teaching machines to see and read.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. And this work, it's like laying the foundation for a whole new generation of AI tools.
And get this, throughout all of this, he's also teaching.
Sharing all of that knowledge.
And he's good at it too, like actually explaining these crazy concepts in a way that makes sense.
Because brilliance is one thing, but being able to communicate it, that's a gift.
He teaches a whole range of modules: natural language processing, machine learning and deep learning, data science and applied machine learning, automation with Python. It's very hands-on. He's not just throwing theory at people.
You learn by doing. That's the best way.
And that responsible AI thing, remember?
Yeah?
Well, it's not just in his research. He brings it into the classroom, too. He's teaching automation with Python, but it's part of a program focused on intelligent manufacturing systems.
He's like weaving ethics right into the technology. It's like saying, we can automate the world, but let's do it right.
Now, his research is where it gets even more interesting. He's got a few key areas he's really passionate about, and you can see how this commitment to responsible AI shows up in each one.
It's a common thread, isn't it?
Absolutely. First up, natural language processing, or NLP. But it's not just NLP in general. He's specifically interested in how it can be used in social sciences and political studies.
Okay, so now we're talking about AI analyzing political discourse, maybe predicting voting patterns. That's powerful stuff.
Powerful and potentially problematic.
Correct. Huge implications for democracy.
Exactly. You'll definitely want to ask him about that if you ever get the chance.
Definitely. Then there's his work in healthcare and biology. He actually helped create MTU's first fully online master's in computational biology, and he teaches machine learning for biology.
So he's bridging computer science with life sciences. It's pretty amazing when you think about the possibilities.
I mean, AI diagnosing diseases earlier, personalized treatments, cracking the code of aging even.
It's like AI meets the mysteries of life.
And he's not just researching it, he's training the next generation of scientists who are going to be using these tools.
Then you've got AI in social sciences. He's developing AI tools for some tough challenges, like migration forecasting. And, no surprise, that focus on responsible AI is front and center.
You've got to think about the human impact with something like that. It's predicting movement, but doing it ethically.
He's basically saying, let's use AI to understand these complex issues, but let's make sure it benefits everyone.
And of course, none of this would be possible without that strong foundation in data analytics and predictive modeling.
Right, because data is the fuel that powers all of this AI.
And Dr. Afli, he knows how to refine that fuel and make it work for good.
That's a great way to put it.
All right, welcome back to our deep dive into the career of Dr. Haithem Afli.
I feel like we've already learned so much.
We have, but trust me, there's still plenty more to unpack.
I believe it. I mean, this guy never stops, does he?
Not when you're this passionate about something, right? He's pushing the boundaries of AI, and it's really inspiring.
Speaking of inspiring, I love how he's spreading this passion globally, like his work with Tunisian professionals in the UK or those talks in India about careers in AI.
It's like a global mentorship program almost. He's building this network of future AI experts.
And it's not just about individual mentoring. He's involved in shaping the places where AI research happens.
Oh, yeah, like his role on the MTU Academic Council, right?
And the MTU Standing Orders Committee, too.
Those are positions where he can actually influence, advocate for resources, set the stage for the future of AI research.
It's like he's building a foundation.
And a more inclusive one, too. Can't forget his work on the MTU Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Learning Committee.
So important, especially in a field like AI that has the potential to touch everyone's lives.
Making sure the people building AI systems reflect the diversity of the world we live in.
Because otherwise you end up with algorithms that only benefit a select few.
Exactly. It's about making sure everyone has a seat at the table.
And his work in this area, it's resonating beyond MPU too,
Right, like with his involvement on those doctoral committees, both as an examiner and a supervisor.
He's shaping how the next generation of AI researchers are being trained, not just at MTU, but at other institutions as well.
It's a ripple effect.
And speaking of reaching far and wide, those conference and journal committees, I mean, wow.
ACL, NAACL, Colling, LREC,
Multimedia systems.
language resources and evaluation, it goes on.
Seriously, the list is endless. That's where you see his influence at the top of the AI world.
Absolutely. These committees decide what research gets highlighted, what direction the field goes in. It's like being part of the AI brain trust.
It's a huge responsibility.
And he's not just observing, he's actively leading those discussions. Remember, he was program chair for the Collaborative European Research Conference and for all those workshops.
Yeah, that's right. He's actually choosing what gets talked about.
Deciding which topics matter most, who's really pushing the boundaries.
It shows he's not just a brilliant researcher, but a leader, too.
Bringing people together, getting them to collaborate.
And that's what's so cool about his career. He's not just an academic. He's also super engaged with how AI can be used practically, like right now.
The real-world applications.
Exactly. He's bridging that gap between academia and industry.
Remember those Enterprise Ireland Innovation Vouchers Program projects?
Oh, yeah, those were cool, working with all those small and medium-sized enterprises.
Using AI to solve their problems in ways they maybe hadn't even considered.
He's taking academic research and turning it into real solutions.
And it's not just small businesses either. He's collaborating with some giants.
Dell EMC, Redzink, Ericsson, IBM.
They're turning to him for his expertise. It's pretty impressive.
And remember that project with Arte, the Centerwords tweet thing?
During the 2016 Irish general election.
That was pretty innovative, using AI to analyze sentiment in real time, seeing how people are responding to political messages.
Powerful stuff, but it also raises some questions,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Could it be used to manipulate voters?
That's why his focus on responsible AI is so important. He's not just building these tools, he's thinking about the consequences.
Building in those ethical considerations.
We also can't forget his entrepreneurial side. The DCU Invent Commercialization Award, his OCR tool that was licensed.
Real-world impact, turning research into marketable products.
He's not just generating knowledge, he's putting it to use, creating something of value.
He's an innovator.
A bridge builder.
Connecting the dots between research, industry, the public.
Now, for the final part of our deep dive, we've got to talk about his work in education and public engagement. This is where his passion really shines and where we see AI's potential to make a real difference.
He's making AI accessible to everyone. It's amazing. Stay tuned for part 3.
All right, we're back for the final part of our deep dive into the world of Dr. Haithem Afli. And if you thought the first 2 parts were impressive, well, this is where we see how he's not just at the forefront of AI, he's like throwing the doors open and saying, come on in, everyone's invited.
It's true. He's like, AI is too important to be left to just a few people.
We need everyone on board if we're going to build a better future with it.
And he's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. We've talked about his teaching, but it's worth emphasizing again how he's really using education to empower the next generation of AI folks.
Like that online MSc in computational biology at MPU.
Game changer.
Makes it so much more accessible, especially for people who can't just pick up and move to Ireland to go to school.
Exactly. He's removing those barriers.
And it's not just online learning either. Remember how he taught applied machine learning and biology at that school in Brazil?
São Paulo School of Advanced Science?
Yeah, that's the one. He's committed to international collaboration, sharing his expertise globally.
AI is a global phenomenon after all. We need to be working together on this.
Absolutely. But it goes way beyond the classroom, too. Remember that AI for the Common Good hackathon? He co-organized with the British Council.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Getting young people fired up about using AI to actually make a difference.
Hackathons are such a great way to get hands-on experience, learn by doing.
You collaborate, you solve real problems, it's fun.
And that focus on the common good, so important.
Reminding people that AI isn't just about profits and automation, it can actually be used to make the world a better place.
And it's not just young people he's reaching either. Remember those lectures at the Cork Learning Neighborhoods program?
Geared towards an older audience.
Yeah, folks who didn't grow up with smartphones and the internet, trying to explain AI to them.
A challenge for sure, but what a great way to bridge that digital divide.
Make sure everyone has the opportunity to understand this stuff, no matter their age.
And then those lectures at the MTU Cork Prison Lecture Series, that's next level outreach.
It really is taking education to places you wouldn't expect.
Shows you how much he believes in the power of knowledge, that everyone deserves access to it.
AI is too important to be kept locked away. That's what he's saying.
And it's not just about access, it's also about understanding the ethical side of things. Remember that workshop on the challenges of ChatGPT?
Oh yeah, with all the hype and fear around large language models, we need to be having those conversations.
Acknowledge the risks, but also celebrate the potential benefits. It's all about finding that balance.
Using AI to improve our lives, but not at the expense of our values.
And he's putting his money where his mouth is with his research on responsible AI, his work on that diversity and inclusion committee at MTU.
Building those safeguards into the very foundation of AI.
He wants to make sure the future of AI is something we can all be proud of.
Where technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
His career is a testament to what one person can do,
He's a researcher, a teacher, a mentor, a leader, an advocate, all in one.
And he shows us that the future of AI is really up to all of us.
How we use it, what values we build into it, what kind of world we create.
So if there's one thing you take away from this deep dive, let it be that.
Keep asking those questions, stay curious, and remember, we're all in this together.
Thanks for joining us.